everyone, welcome. In today's session, we are going to learn about the organization of the genes. To the various steps involved in the organization, let's see the advantages of the organization. Why is this gene organization essential? In a human cell, the length of the DNA is 2 meters and its width is nearly 2 nanometers, whereas the size of the human cell nucleus is just 5 to 10 micrometers. So we know that the DNA is present inside the nucleus. So if you compare their sizes, it is quite difficult for a 2 nanometer width DNA and a 2 meter long DNA to fit into a very small nucleus which is just 5 to 10 micrometers. Hence, the DNA has to be folded or compacted such that it can fit easily into the nucleus. And there are many other advantages of this organization or the compaction of the DNA. A compacted DNA or a DNA in the form of a chromosome is quite stable when compared to the naked DNA. And this compaction also regulates the accession of genes. That is, it regulates the process of replication and transcription. So the organization of genes takes place in 5 subsequential steps. So first a 10 nanometer fiber is formed, followed by a 30 nanometer fiber which folds on to form a loop-like structures. These loops arranges to form mini bands and these bands arrange to form a chromosome. So from a 10 nanometer fiber till the chromosome, there is nearly 1000-fold compaction of the DNA. That is, the size of the DNA is reduced nearly 1000 times. There are many proteins that help in the organization of the gene. Actually, inside a nucleus, the DNA is not present as a naked DNA. It is always present in association with some proteins. So the proteins that are associated with the DNA can be categorized into 2 groups, the histone proteins and the non-histone proteins. So apart from the histone proteins, all other proteins fall into the category of non-histone proteins. So the proteins and the enzymes that are involved in the replication, the transcription process, all these fall under the non-histone proteins. The histone proteins are the major proteins which are going to help in the compaction process. So these are the most abundant proteins present in the chromatin. These proteins are basic in nature. They consist of many basic amino acids such as the arginine and lysine. So they carry a net positive charge, and we know that the DNA is highly negatively charged. So this helps the DNA to interact with the histone protein. So the histone protein is of 5 major types: H1, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. Step in the organization of the gene is the formation of the nucleosome. So for the formation of the nucleosome, 4 major histone proteins aids in this step: the H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. 2 copies of each of this protein form a octameric core protein-like structure. So around this core protein, the DNA is wrapped. Our DNA wrapped around the histone octameric protein is called nucleosome. So this is how the structure will look like. So we'll have a histone core protein around which the DNA is wrapped. So the DNA makes nearly a 1.5 turn. So many such nucleosome-like structures will be formed. So the DNA that is linked or closely associated with the histone protein is called as the core DNA, and the DNA that connects the 2 nucleosomes is called as the linker DNA. So this gives a 10 nanometer fiber-like structure or 11 nanometer fiber-like structure to the DNA. So it is also called as 11 nanometer fiber or a 10 nanometer fiber, or it is also called as beads on string structure. So the next step is the formation of a 30 nanometer fiber. So this 30 nanometer fiber is formed with the help of the H1 histone protein. The H1 protein consists of 2 active sites. So one end binds to the core DNA, the other end binds to the linker DNA, and then it pulls these 2 regions together. So this results in the overlapping of the nucleosome-like structures. So the nucleosomes may get arranged in 2 patterns. One is the solenoid pattern or the other one is the zigzag pattern. So actually in a solenoid pattern, the neighboring nucleosomes interact with each other. That is, the N1 interacts with the N2, N3 with the info. So this leads to the arrangement of a solenoid pattern. Whereas in a zigzag pattern, the alternate nucleosomes interact with each other. So the nucleosome folds in a zigzag pattern. So these are the two models of organization in the 30 nanometer fiber. The 30 nanometer fiber then forms loop-like structures. So this 30 nanometer fiber loops out onto a basement protein called as a nucleus scaffold protein, or simply a scaffold protein. So this is a non-histone protein. So on this protein, the DNA will form loop-like structures. The DNA consists of specific regions called as scaffold associated regions. So these regions helps in the interaction of the DNA with the scaffold protein. The loops get arranged or coil upon themselves to form mini bands like structures. So each band consists of nearly 18 loops. Mini bands will arrange along a central axis to form a mitotic chromosome structure. So from the 10 nanometer fiber, or from the DNA to naked DNA to the chromosome, there is nearly 1000-fold compaction of the DNA. That is, the DNA size is reduced to nearly 1000 times. Now this is the overall picture of the organization. So we have the naked DNA, which is 2 nanometer width, which then forms a nucleosome structure or a bead-on string structure, which then folds on to form a 30 nanometer fiber. So this 30 nanometer fiber can be of a solenoid pattern or of a zigzag pattern. Now this 30 nanometer fiber will form coil-like structures or loop-like structures on the basement nucleus scaffold protein. Now these loops will coil upon itself to form mini bands, and each band consists of 18 loops. Now these mini bands will arrange to form the chromosome. Hope you understood the concept. Thank you for watching.